Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Wonderful.
Oh, sorry. Did you need a nap or something?
Sorry.
Coming up later in the program, Tony and Lauren Dungy will be our guests. Now, if you're a football fan, you've definitely heard of Tony Dungy. Been a player, been a coach, done all kinds of stuff, and now he is an author. He and his wife put together some children's books, and I'm excited to chat with them about that. That'll be coming up later in the show. Also, I have a quote for today from Charles Swindoll. He says, "Life is 10% what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it." That is so true. Mm-hmm. And there's a great analogy talking about boiling water and how it softens a potato, but it hardens an egg, and it makes coffee, coffee actually flavors the water, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's a cool little analogy. But this guy, 10% what happens to me, 90% of how I respond. I agree. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 27th day of July. It's National New Jersey Day. I don't know when Old Jersey Day is, but okay, no.
Wow.
It is National Scotch Day. You know, I've only tried scotch once in my life because I always wondered what it would taste like. In my mind, I thought it was going to taste like butterscotch. Doesn't taste like that at all.
No,
Not
it
even
does
close.
not.
It's National Creme Brulee Day. Ooh, that's good stuff. National Get Gnarly Day. National Talk in an Elevator Day. And National System Administrator Appreciation Day. And you should appreciate your system administrator because they can make the whole system go down. I remember watching a story. It was on a TV program where this guy programmed all of the computers at the company to crash, and then he quit, and he had like the backup on a disk. And he was like holding it hostage, and I thought, wow, that was a terrible idea because they knew who did it. So he got in a lot of trouble. Anyway, National System Administrator Appreciation Day. Thank you, IT men and women, for keeping all of us going. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, Demi Lovato is said to be alert and with family following her overdose on Tuesday. So
That's really sad.
That is really sad for anybody, but really sad when I know there are a lot of young people who look up to her. So I'm really sad that was going on in her life. Hopefully, this is a wake up call and it all kind of gets straightened out. But again, very, very sad news from Tuesday. But again, sounds like things are okay now. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380. 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
And this is your brain on drugs. Nicholas Lardiere, I don't know if I said that right, 31, was arrested in Pennsylvania for drunk driving a go-kart. Yeah, a go-kart. Police observed a go-kart driving erratically, and they stopped him. He exhibited signs of being under the influence of alcohol. He also was found to be in possession of marijuana.
Like at a go-kart track?
No, down the road.
Oh, okay. I was
And he
going to
was-
say, can you get arrested for that at a go-kart track?
He was taken into custody at the scene. He was charged with driving under a suspended license, DUI related, and a small amount of marijuana and other traffic offenses. So, I don't know. I wonder if you could get a DUI at a go-kart track.
I don't know how you could.
I kind of doubt it. You don't need a driver's license to drive at a go-kart track. 'Cause they have
Right.
kids doing it. So, I think that since it's on public or like private property, I doubt
Right.
it. I'm not going to
I don't know
try.
either.
Could see if Charlie wants to hang out next week, but I'm not going to do it. So but that would be kind of weird, though. Anyway, this guy got in trouble for driving a go-kart. He's like, hey, I have no license. I don't need a license to drive a go-kart. Well, you do on the road. And he got a DUI for that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs. Academy Award winner Emma Thompson is reprising her role as Agent O in the upcoming Men in Black spinoff. Thompson will be joined by Chris Hemsworth, I think is how you say that, and Tessa Thompson in the project. Now, Chris Hemsworth was Captain America, I believe, wasn't he?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's who he was. Anyway, another Men in Black coming soon to a big screen near you. Critics are calling the new Mission Impossible the, quote, best movie of the summer, end quote. Okay, no arguments from me. I haven't seen it, but there have been a lot of movies that have like made record numbers. They sold more tickets than like any movie ever. Remember we had like Blockbusters just a month ago? But this one is supposedly the best movie of the summer. Was it even the best movie of last week?
I have no idea.
So critics are loving it. I don't know if the critics have ever been right, though. Maybe it's great. I haven't seen it, so no complaints here. Just letting you know what it says on the old computer screen here.
I've never been a fan of the Men in Black movies either, honestly.
I liked them. I thought they were fun. All right. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
John and Heidi.
Now, your scoop of the day. A woman was found to be urinating on the floor of her flight just before takeoff from
Wow.
London to Warsaw, Poland.
Classy.
Here's what happened. Flight crew said, no, you cannot use the restroom. We're refueling. And she was saying, I really have to go. No, you can't do it. So she just pulled down her trousers or whatever she was wearing
Wow.
and went in the galley where they usually prepare food.
Totally classy.
Yeah, here's the interesting thing. The incident took place on board, are you ready for this? A Wizz Air flight. You can't make this stuff up.
That's awesome.
Wizz Air, Wizz Air, and she peed on the floor.
Wow.
I just don't understand why they wouldn't have let her use the restroom. But they're like, nope, you can't go, not yet. Well, I have to go. It's emergency. And I'm sure what she did wasn't the right answer.
Well, no.
But, she
That's
told him.
disgusting.
She told him she had to go. There's a time to be connected, and there's a time to unplug. And those lines are blurring for many Americans addicted to their smartphones. More and more people using their smartphones at inappropriate times. People utilizing smartphones during church services. If you're, using the Bible app, that's one thing. But, scrolling through on Facebook and stuff, maybe not. More and more people using their phones. Have you gone to a concert lately?
Oh, my gosh.
I was just at one recently. I was one of them. I was taking pictures and I was posting them online. But this is the one that surprises me the most. A new study shows about 15% of people admit to having used their mobile device during the act of nookie, at least once. So, Heidi, have you ever done that? She's my wife. Just the other day, she was fumbling for her phone. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? We're not done. We're married. I just want to make sure you understand. It's just... She's going to text. She's going to post, whoa, glad that's over. A poll finds that might fall under the TMI category. I wasn't going to say anything, but your silence and smirking, everybody could hear you laughing. Yeah. All right. Moving on. A poll finds 59% of Americans believe there is intelligent life in outer space. Do you, Heidi?
No.
I do. I think that there is intelligent life in outer space. I sometimes question whether there's intelligent life here. I'm on social media. I read some of the things people say, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if we should really be saying things like that. I just had somebody in a group that I'm in. It's like a group with a bunch of business people, and they were saying, do you accept friend requests from, like, business clients? And there were several people on there that said, no, I don't. My business life and my personal life are two different things. And I'm like, I accept friend requests from people, but I just make sure that I'm, appropriate on social media. I've noticed Heidi's gotten quiet once again.
I try not to accept too many from
people that you don't want to offend.
Right. And if I do decide, okay, this person was fun, I first send them a warning. Just so you know,
now, here's
this is
the
what
thing.
you're getting into on my page.
I've had to defend Heidi's Facebook page numerous times, and I always just explain that, hey, first of all, it's her page. I'm not about to tell my wife what she can and can't do. But second of all, it's not usually the things that people would be offended by. It's nothing that you typed. It's something you shared, something that you thought was funny, and then you shared it. It's not like you originated some of those naughty, terrible, ridiculous things.
No.
This is why you're not an administrator on our page, by the way.
I know. I know why I'm not an administrator.
It's nice and safe on our page. One last thing here. Governments of the world know just how dangerous a thumb drive can be. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security ran a test in which staffers dropped some flash drives, the little USB things, in parking lots of government and contractor buildings. 60% of the folks who picked them up simply plugged them into a network computer in a government building. That percentage, by the way, jumped to 90% if the drive had an official logo. So if they stuck a NASA logo on it or a FBI logo, then people plugged it in the computer when they got inside to see what's on this. It could be a virus. They could have just completely infected the entire office. Don't do that.
That's actually really smart.
They did this test to find out, and 60% on the one and 90% on the other.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've got this flash drive over here. I guess I'm not going to plug it in now. Can I use your computer, Heidi?
Why, did you find one?
I'm just being I'm just being silly. This has been your Scoop of the Day on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us. If you're a football fan, you absolutely have heard the name Tony Dungy. And even if you're not a football fan, you've probably heard that name before. Well, I've got Tony and his wife joining us right now. We're not going to talk about football. We're actually going to talk about some children's books that they just recently put out. And they've got the first two available very soon. Tony, what was it that made you guys decide to write some children's books?
Well, it really started with Lauren and her group of wives, coaches' wives, and players' wives that took on a project of reading to elementary school students when I was coaching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they did a great job of that, but felt like it would be nice to have some books to read that not only were fun, but had a good message and also taught life lessons. That was the idea behind it, and that's kind of how we got started a few years ago.
And Lauren, now we'll actually come to you. When you were reading books to the children back in the day, did you ever think that, hey, someday maybe I'll have my own books to read to them as well?
Well, not initially, but as we read to the kids at the different Title I schools, we started to run into a challenge of finding good books that would be engaging and fun for the students, but also would have some good life lessons. And as we kind of struggled with finding those books, we started thinking that perhaps we could sit down and write some of our own books. We have 10 kids, so we thought we had certainly had a lot of experience with children's issues and things that they are dealing with. And we thought we could just kind of tell their stories and their challenges and write books with that. And we've been having a lot of fun doing it.
So the two books that you have out right now, that are coming out right now, is there one that's like the first book and one that's the second book, or are they not in necessarily any particular order, really?
Well, we're releasing both of them, and both stories deal with children trying to kind of overcome a challenge. And Maria Finds Courage is a story about a girl who is very apprehensive about trying a new sport, and so she needs a little bit of encouragement and support from the coaches, her parents, and teammates, and then she's able to overcome that fear and then start participating in the sport of soccer.
That's really cool. And Tony, tell us about the other book that's coming out kind of at the same time.
Yeah, Austin Plays Fair is a boy who's on a flag football team that is struggling and they can't seem to win. One of the players has this idea that they can tuck their flags in and secure them, make them harder to pull out, and that's going to help them win. And Austin has to decide whether it's worth it to cheat and not follow the rules in order to win. And in both situations, both books, we're the coaches, and we, along with the parents of the two children, kind of help them work their way through these issues. And that's kind of the theme. This is going to be an 8-book series, and all of them kind of center around coaches and parents helping the young people through problems that they face on a day-to-day basis.
And that's great, because in real life, when kids are young and impressionable, that's the best time to show them how to do things the right way, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and all kids need that support and that encouragement from other people. And I think we forget, we think that they can just go out there and play the game and engage in the sport, and we leave it up to children to kind of sort through their challenges, but they do need that support from their parents and from their coaches. And we want to just kind of show how important it is to be there for their kids and help them kind of navigate through those challenges.
And that was one of the goals behind the books, too. We wanted, obviously, to encourage kids to read and develop their reading skills, but we hope that parents and other adults will read these books to their children, that it will stimulate conversation about some of the issues. Oh, yeah, let's talk about being honest. Let's talk about making friends, and let's talk about how difficult it is in new situations and trying new things. And maybe we as adults can encourage you. So those are a couple of the goals of this series of books.
Now, these first two books are available starting in August. What is the exact date again?
They're going to be released on August 7th.
And can they reserve an advance copy now?
Correct. They can go to teamdungy.com and they can pre-order the books and get them reserved, that they'll be delivered on that day.
I'll be sure to throw a link to that in our show notes as well. And if there was just one thing you could get across to young people, what would that be?
I think it would be the importance of reading, number one. That is one of the reasons we've written these books, one of the reasons we go around and read to elementary school students in Tampa. Reading is so important, whether you want to be a football player or any other line of work. Being able to read, being able to process information is what's going to be needed for your future. So enjoy the books, have fun. We hope to get the life lessons, but we'd love for them to read and enjoy reading.
I agree completely. What I do for a living, I have to read out loud every day, and reading out loud is a lot different than reading to yourself.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Again, Tony and Lauren, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us, and also thank you for doing what you're doing here to help the next generation.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you.
Again, our guests today have been Tony and Lauren Dungy. They have their first two children's books coming out next month. You can pre-order those right now. We'll throw a link to their website in the show notes at JohnandHeidiShow.com.
If you're a business owner, you should consider using radio. Radio is a powerful tool. Over 90% of us listen to the radio each week. Imagine if this ad was talking about your business, helping you hit your goals. We can help. We can also create a fun jingle, too, to get people singing your song. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable, and that makes radio work even better. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. Radio jingles to help you get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If left alone, 70% of birthmarks gradually fade away. So if you just leave it alone, it goes away.
Huh.
I did not know this. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
One single human hair can support 3 ounces. So hold 3 ounces. You would think that it would be...
I don't know what that means.
Like if you had a weight, a 3-ounce weight, you could lift that up with one single thread of human hair. Wouldn't it be different for every human? Because like our son has very wiry hair.
Gosh, yeah.
He's got like
probably lift a car with a strand of his hair.
I like patted him on the head. Not that I pat him on the head a lot, but I was doing something being silly. I was like, good boy, and I patted him on the head. Pretty sure his hair is made of Brillo pads.
I'm not sure. It is bizarre. Isn't it that texture?
I could use that head to scrub pots and pans. Try, come here. Scrub your pots and pans here. And my hair is like very fine. I don't know why. Not that is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing?
I don't know.
Probably means I'm going to be bald in about 15 minutes. Let's count it down. All right, this has been a couple of fun facts. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day. And our word for today is actually kind of two words with a little hyphen in between them. Fiddle-faddle. Fiddle-faddle. Heidi, what do you think fiddle-faddle is?
It's a delicious snack.
You know, I thought the same thing. So I wasn't going crazy when I thought that. Is there really a thing?
Yeah.
I thought so too. But that's not what this one is. Do you have any idea what the grandiloquent explanation is?
It's like ridiculous.
It is trivial matters or nonsense to fuss or waste time, especially over trivial matters. Isn't that what you just said?
It is.
Yeah, so just a bunch of fiddle-faddle. Used in a sentence. You know, Trevor, you needn't bother yourself with all that fiddle-faddle. Who's Trevor? What fiddle-faddle is he bothering himself over? I have no idea. You know, these sentences, that's probably the easiest sentence I've ever read. I know all those words.
Good for you, honey.
Yeah, it's a big day. Thanks for listening to a bunch of fiddle-faddle right here on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, some weird news for you on a Friday. What in the world is going on here? A St. Paul City Council candidate has been arrested after allegedly posting a topless photo of his wife on his campaign website. What? Monday of last week, St. Paul police said David Martinez was arrested by officers at 7:30 in the morning. They say he was arrested without incident for felony non-consensual dissemination of private sexual images. They added that Saturday they received a report that he posted a topless photo of his wife on the blog section of his campaign website.
What an idiot.
Below it was a link to a restraining order from her against him.
Whoa.
In the restraining order, she alleges that on the 4th of July, he put his hands around her neck and threw her into a shelving unit. Police say the site was taken down Sunday. Investigators are now working to determine whether there are other images on the net and will work to have them removed if they are found.
Wow, what a
He is
jerk.
now in county jail, and I wonder, did he think this was going to help his campaign somehow?
That is not, no. Well,
Why was he going to put that on his campaign website?
I don't know.
I just don't understand why in the world he would have.
I was going to say something.
I know
but
what you were going to say.
I decided against it.
I'm really glad you did. Thank you, Heidi, for using restraint.
You're welcome.
I'm quite honestly shocked and amazed. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Time now for your moment of duh. A man stripped naked before working out at a New Hampshire gym, and then he told the officers there that he thought he was in a, quote, judgment-free zone, end quote.
What?
He was at a Planet Fitness, and that's their slogan. Their slogan is, we're a judgment-free zone. So he was arrested. He's 34. Eric Stagno was the guy's name. Charged with indecent exposure, lewdness, and disorderly conduct for taking off all of his clothing and exercising at a Planet Fitness. He walked back and forth and started doing poses on a yoga mat. He allegedly referenced their slogan, Judgment Free Zone, when he was being arrested. He's free on bail and is scheduled to be arraigned in September in the district court. Can you
I
even
wonder if he'll win.
imagine? No, he will not win.
Well, it says judgment free.
No, that's not what they mean. And
It's
nobody,
like an advertising slogan.
no reasonable person is going to think that
but
was okay.
how many juries have given someone a verdict over a ridiculous? I mean, you would be surprised.
So. I don't think so. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to get to pay the price, and it's just a bad idea. I don't like going to the gym when you have the locker room and
when
there's
you're fully clothed.
even that. But I've been in the gym putting clothes on. There's naked people walking around. I'm like, put some clothes on before you walk around the locker rooms. There's some people that are way too comfortable naked. I'm like, put on something.
Anything.
I mean, you're just walking around talking to people. Put something on. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380, 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for Fake News or Florida. You ready for this, Heidi?
I am ready.
It makes you smile every time I say that. Have you noticed that? I don't know why that does.
I just think you're goofy. That's...
Okay. I just noticed every time I do it, you just smile when I'm doing it that way. Fake News or Florida. And then I do it even more. And then I didn't do that one day, and I had somebody saying they really missed it. So now I have to. So tell me, Heidi, is this a true story of something that really happened in the great state of Florida, or is it all a bunch of just fake news that was made up by me or someone else? Tell me the truth here. What do you think? Fake news or Florida? A dog walker was arrested after he left his marijuana stash inside a customer's home. Fake news or Florida? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
I'm going to say fake news.
Oh, wow. It is fake news. Good job. I would have fallen for that one. Thank you for submitting that, by the way. You can submit your fake news or Florida stories through our Facebook page or through our website, rather, is what I meant, johnandheidishow.com. One more. Fake news or Florida? 2 contestants were arrested at a bikini contest after getting into a high-heel shoe fight. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
It is a Florida story. That really, truly happened. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. It's in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. It's a monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. And I think this is kind of interesting. It says here, I'll read you the headline first, then we'll read the story. So the headline is, when tourist accidentally pays 100 times his taxi fare, driver tracks him down to return it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 100 times? So if it was going to cost $1...
He must have punched it in on some app and accidentally
I don't think he did.
Much.
I think he was a tourist. He didn't know how much the money was. An honest-hearted cab driver is being praised for returning hundreds of dollars worth of fare to a Chinese-American tourist after they accidentally overpaid. The Chinese driver, Zhang Peng, has been working in the capital city of Xi'an in the province. I'm not even going to try reading all these different names. Anyway, he checked the online wallet of his WeChat app and saw one of his passengers paid 6,500 yen for a $65 yen fare.
Oh, okay.
So he hit the 00 accidentally.
Yeah.
That's, by the way, about $950
Whoa!
for a $9.50 ride. He suspected the payment might have been a mistake. Based on the time of the payment, he guessed that maybe it was made by 4 tourists that he had picked up from the train station and dropped off at a nearby hotel. He failed to contact the group through his dispatchers, so he decided, I'm going to go to the hotel where I dropped him off and explain to them what happened. He talked to the front desk, and he had the man who made the payment come downstairs to meet the cab driver. He was stunned, by the way, to hear about his mistake. It was his first time visiting this Chinese city, and he says that he has been confused by the app's online payment system. These systems are new to me. So the guy, I can understand if you don't know how to do that.
Absolutely.
So it's really cool.
Very cool that the dude went out of his way to come back and find him, because he could have just pocketed that money and said it was a tip. And
he offered him a reward, and he insisted, I don't want the reward. I'm just going to refund the excess fare. So I think that's really cool.
Very, very cool.
I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it, and you can probably read it a lot better than I did. I was scrolling through and kind of chopping through that one. Again, it's in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.